Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. Homage to the Triple Gem, homage to Bada Panteji, Guru Panteji and Anta Sangha, and welcome to all the lay devotees. Once again, just now you were meditating peacefully, so you can see that meditation also is so important in our daily lives, cultivating mindfulness, cultivating peacefulness. All these things, they come from meditation. So today we'll be talking about treasure, dhana, treasure. So when you say treasure or wealth, you understand, what do you understand? Something valuable, something precious, something, and also not just something valuable or something precious, something useful. So for example, now you have money, but doctor says tomorrow you are going to die. Then it is not useful. It is valuable but not useful. So it should be valuable, it should be useful also. Both things. So anything that we call treasure or wealth, it should have these two qualities: precious or valuable and also useful. So now when we think treasure, automatically it comes to our mind the money that you earn or you use for your day-to-day living, house that you live comfortably, to protect against the weather, heat, cold, rain, etc. Or maybe the car you use to travel comfortably. All these things, or your savings or your investments, other things. So this, we have a conventional idea about wealth. But then I said at the beginning, wealth means something that is not just valuable, but you should be able to use it. It should be useful for you today, tomorrow, day after, in this life, in next life. It should be useful. For example, if it is useful only for some days, some months, some years, after that it is not useful, then it is not so much of a treasure. Only maybe short. So Lord Buddha also says there are these 7 treasures. He also talks about treasures, something that is valuable and useful, but he doesn't talk about money. He is not saying this much money, this much gold, silver, this much property. He is not saying like this. What is he saying? The treasure of Saddha, conviction in the Triple Gem. Last week there was this discourse on the having the Triple Gem as your refuge. So when you have the Triple Gem as your refuge, then you have something called an inner wealth. All these treasures Lord Buddha is mentioning here are all inner wealth. Inner wealth means that you develop in your mind. That you develop in your mind, and that you carry with you wherever you go, and also not just hereafter. After passing away also you carry wherever you go from this life to other. Next. So the faith in the triple gem, where the disciple of the noble ones, the Buddha's disciples, have conviction about the awakening of the Buddha. So the Buddha was the enlightened one. Buddha was the enlightened one. If the Buddha was not the enlightened one, then he wouldn't have been sitting here. Simple. If the Buddha was not enlightened, he will not be sitting here. Nobody will come here. You understand my point? The very fact that Buddha attained Mahaparinibbana 2568 years, almost 68 years before. But people still follow what he said. People still practice what he said. Means people have conviction, oh, this is good. This is something very special. This is something very noble. This is not found in other place. This is not found here and there. So this is the evidence that the Buddha was enlightened. Only an enlightened, truly enlightened person can have following of this level. After 1 year, after 100 year, after 1000 year, after 2000 year, more than 2000, almost more than 2,500 years later also. If people did not get benefit out of his word, then people wouldn't follow him then. People would not follow. But the fact that people are following still now so faithfully means this something very precious in Buddha. That is the Buddha's enlightenment. So when you have faith in the enlightenment of the Buddha, we have many types of faith. When we say conviction or faith, we have, for example, you go and buy something from the shop, something for your house, or something to eat, or something to use in your day-to-day life, and you have some level of conviction. No, okay, I buy this, it will be useful for me. I eat this, it will be useful for me. Though you may or may not have complete idea, it may be useful, it may not be useful, or it may be partially useful, not fully useful. But still you have that faith. But having faith in the Buddha is much more special, as we were saying. It elevates your mind. It elevates your mind from an ordinary mind to a higher mind. Having faith in the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha, when you do it correctly, it is like this. So Saddha, first wealth. Similarly, in the Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha. This is the faith that will be your refuge here, every day, and afterwards as well. So this is first wealth, first treasure Lord Buddha mentions. Then the treasure of virtue, Sila, especially for lay people, Panchashila, 5 precepts. 5 precepts, you see, people have in the problems with their family members, with their relatives, with their friends, with their colleagues. And you go and see, you will see something. People are not very truthful to each other, honest to each other. They are not being very good or virtuous or moral with each other. Some problem is there. That's why there is no trust or no faith in each other, or people don't help each other. So that comes from not following Sila, this problem. So when you follow the Sila, that is your second wealth, because your mind is peaceful when you are following Sila. You have no doubts, unnecessary doubts and worries and confusions or fears. It doesn't come to your mind. For example, if there is a person who is very immoral, very bad, always trying to kill other people, harm other people, cheat other people. So if there is a person like that, if there is a person like that, then he also knows wherever he goes, he also knows that people will doubt me, people will not believe me, people will not trust me, people will move away from me, or people will talk about me behind my back. People who are immoral, they will think always like this. Even if people are talking something else, they will be thinking, oh, maybe they are talking about me. Maybe yesterday I told so many lies, maybe they are talking about me. Yeah. It is natural mental process of an immoral person. Natural mental process. Now, we have to go by the law of nature, how this body is functioning depending on causes and conditions, how this mind is functioning. So we are bound by certain causes and conditions in this world. So if our mind has virtue, goodness, metta, karuna, then our mind works in a certain way. But if our mind has no virtue, no goodness, no loving kindness, no compassion, all bad qualities, then it will work in another way. This is universal. Whether you're educated, uneducated, rich, poor, doesn't matter. Same for everybody. So, important. The second wealth. First wealth we talked about Shraddha, conviction in the triple gem. The second wealth Lord Buddha is saying Sila, virtue. That is your second wealth, because when you have the morality, goodness, virtue, metta, karuna, etc., then your mind will not be disturbed. Your mind will not have fear. Your mind will not have too many unnecessary doubts. And especially, there was a sutta called Mahanama Sutta, where one Sakyan layperson, Mahanama, he asked Lord Buddha that in the city of Kapilavatthu, where Prince Siddhartha was born, the Sakyan capital. So I stay there, I stay here, and every day I go to the market here, there, and there are so many people, horses, elephants, animals. If by chance some animal come and kill me, or some accident happen, then what will happen? What will be my destination? He asked, what will be my destination? Then Lord Buddha told him, you see, Mahanama, you have faith in the triple gem. You have conviction in the triple gem. You are having conviction in the triple gem for a long time. And you are following Panchashila also. So, even if you die suddenly like that, don't be afraid. You will not be born in a low or unhappy destination. You will still be born in a good destination, because the general tendency of your mind is rooted in the faith and the triple gem. So we have to see how our mind is rooted in the faith. When we have our mind generally has faith in the triple gem. Generally, when you follow the sila, generally you are sincere and careful, or having metta, karuna, etc., then the mind is having a tendency of goodness. It is not why one sudden good action that one is reborn in a good place. It is not by one sudden bad action one is reborn in a bad place. We have to see the general tendency of the mind, how the mind generally is over a period of time. Generally good, generally bad, generally full of hatefulness and greed and covetousness and jealousy and selfishness, such things, or generally having sila and metta and karuna and gratitude and such qualities. So generally the state of mind, that will determine the person's destination for future life. So if somebody having faith in the triple gem and somebody having sila, then automatically, that's why Lord Buddha calls them treasure. Because treasure means, I said, no beginning. Something valuable, but something not just valuable, something useful as well. If it is only valuable but not useful, then no use. Like I said, no. You have 1 billion. Doctor says by another 6 hours you will die. Your 1 billion is no use. Because it's no longer, it's valuable but not useful. So second wealth, he talks about sila, virtue. Third wealth, hiri, moral shame or wise shame. Shame. People have shame, but now people sometimes, for example, some of you may come here regularly, but then maybe your friends or your relatives, they are not bothered about a spiritual life, good life, anything. So when you go and tell them, I went to monastery, or I did meditation, or I offered dana, or I took panchashila or anything, maybe some of your relatives will say, or friends will say, or colleagues, somebody will say, oh, that is so waste of time. Why do you go there? Sunday, why do you go there? Yeah. People may say like that also. But when they say, then you will be, next time you will be a little ashamed to tell them, oh, I went there. That is one kind of shame. But this is not a very like a right kind of shame. Wrong. You do good, you have conviction in doing good, then you should not be shameful about it. When people don't follow sila, when people are killing or hurting other people or stealing or cheating or deceiving or committing sexual misconduct or telling lies or getting drunk by alcohols and intoxicants, then they should be ashamed. Oh, I did something wrong. That is the right kind of shame, which is based on wisdom. Oh, I did wrong. This is shameful. But you did right and still you are ashamed, then you are not being wise. So, when we say hiri, moral shame, shame that is based on morality, that is correctly understood by wisdom. Yes, this is right. And it is something wrong when you do or about to do, then you should be, oh, this is wrong. I should be shameful too before I do. I should not do. That's moral shame. Then you will not do most of the unwholesome things. Hiri. In fact, this is one quality all the divine beings possess. And the second quality is ottappa, which is the fourth wealth. Moral or wise fear, moral fear. Fear of wrongdoing, fear of Oh, if I do wrong, if I do something evil, then bad, painful, harmful consequences shall come to my way. So, Ottappa. Hiri and Ottappa. Moral shame and moral fear, or wise shame and a wise fear. These are the two qualities all higher beings, divine beings, devas, brahmas, everybody will possess these two qualities. And in fact, Lord Buddha also says they are like lokapalaka dhamma. Lord Buddha says they are lokapalaka, like the parents. Lokapalaka is the guardian of the world. These two qualities, moral shame and moral fear. If people are afraid, shameful of wrong things, and they are afraid of wrong actions, then they can protect themselves. They will be afraid and they will move away from wrong things. But if they are not shameful or they are not afraid of wrong things, wrong actions, then there is no protector for them. There is no guardian for them. If somebody does evil, somebody goes and kills another person. After killing, once the action is done, then who is that person's protector? Nobody. He can go anywhere, he can do anything, but still his evil action, the result of his evil action will follow. There is no escape from that. So when people don't follow Sila, they are immoral, they are harming, they are doing things which are bad for themselves, which are bad for other people. They are doing it like this again and again and again. Who is their protector? Nobody. Because they are creating conditions to get harm and suffering sooner or later. So, but when you have this type of shame and moral fear, rooted in wisdom, oh, this is wrong, I should avoid, I should be shameful, this is wrong, I should be scared, I should be afraid of doing something wrong, I would not do it. Then this is your third and fourth treasure, and this is also your protector, Lokapalaka, your protector, your guardian. Like we have sometimes when we were small, our parents were our guardian. But after growing up and when we are independent and when we grow older and older, then we are on our own. But this Hiri or Ottappa, if we have, then it is our protector. So this is Hiri and Ottappa, third and the fourth wealth. Then fifth is Bahussuta, someone who learns a lot. Noble one who has heard the Dhamma and retained what he has heard. It is also important, retaining. Like now you are hearing, we talked about wealth. First wealth is the faith in the triple gems. Second wealth is the virtue. Third wealth is Hiri, moral shame. Fourth wealth is Ottappa, moral fear. So you should be able to retain. If you forget, for example, if you learn, if you come, listen many things, this point, this thing, that thing, then after that you go home, you forget everything. Then how will you practice? So at least the right things you should be able to remember. Even if you are not able to remember a lot of things, at least what is important. These are very important, like your treasure, no? Lord Buddha is saying. So what he has heard, he is stored, and these teachings he contemplates. These teachings are wonderful. Adi Kalyanang, Madhye Kalyanang, Paryosana Kalyanang. These teachings, this Dhamma that Lord Buddha is given, now that you are hearing about wealth, about developing the right things in your mind so that your mind will be comfortable here, next life, till Nibbana, you can go smoothly. Then you should contemplate these teachings that the Buddha has given. Adi Kalyanam. It is beneficial at the beginning. Majjhe kalyanam. Beneficial in the middle. When you start, it is good. When you to keep doing, it is good. Paryosana kalyanam. In the beginning, is good in the end. Even up to the end. When you follow and follow and follow, and then one day you reach Nibbana, freedom from suffering, then also it is good. There is nothing bad in this Dhamma. As we say, like somebody who has followed sincerely the words of the Buddha. One who has sincerely followed the words of the Buddha, they will not say, oh, because I followed what Lord Buddha said, my life has become suffering. My life has become mess. My life has been ruined. No. Because if you follow it wisely, then it automatically it will give you the right inner wealth. It cannot make you lose things. It will always gain right things. It will make you lose wrong things. If you are immoral earlier, then you will become moral. So you will lose the wrong things, but you will gain the right things. So, hearing the Dhamma, remembering and also contemplating, this is good. When I heard first time, that time also my mind became peaceful. Now I am hearing, it is good. Tomorrow also if I hear, it will be good only. Tomorrow also if I practice, it will be good only. Till the end it will be good. So remembering the Dhamma, the words, the meanings, especially the meanings. And this Dhamma that Lord Buddha has given, also trying to understand by your practice. Okay, this is the meaning. Then how do I do this? For example, now you are hearing about Shraddha or Sila or Hiri or Ottappa. Then how do I do this? How do I do it more? Trying to understand through your practice. So this is the Bahussutta, learning of Dhamma. That itself is treasure, because then when you are learn and hear and remember, and then when you have difficulties or troubles or your mind is disturbed, then you are able to remember, oh, I heard about, say, anicca, impermanence of the body or of the mind. So when you understand this is anicca, then okay, then when you have suffering about physical suffering or mental suffering, then we can recollect this is also impermanent. Nothing, we don't have to be so disturbed, or we don't have to suffer so much. So this is the fifth. And then sixth comes Chaga, generosity. This is the, in case of disciple of the noble ones, his awareness cleansed from the stain of stinginess. So when you are a generous person, and the Lord Buddha says stain of stinginess. So stinginess is something he is not appreciating. You have to also understand. When you are stingy means what? You are being selfish and greedy. Only for me, only for me. Like that, no? So is that a wholesome state of mind or an unwholesome state of mind? When you are thinking only for me, or only for my family, like this. Then is that a wholesome state of mind, a right state of mind? No. It is rooted in greed, craving, clinging. How can it be the right state of mind? It cannot be the right state of mind. What is rooted in greed, craving, clinging, how can it be right? It is wrong. The very moment you try to grasp, your mind becomes heavy. So he used the word chaga. In this sutta, Lord Buddha used the word chaga. Chaga means to give up, to abandon, to let go. But Chaga with a sense of generosity means, what is the essence of generosity? That's what he is saying. What is the essence of dana? To let go. When you give dana, you give something to other people, other person. You give something. But more importantly, you give up something. To the extent that you are giving, to that extent you are giving up your greed, your possessiveness, your craving. You give food to one person one day. To that much food, you have to give up your craving. This is my food, why should I share? Or this is my thing, why should I share? So, chaga, giving is also giving up, not just material thing, your greed, your craving. So when we say dana is punya, dana is meritorious, dana is kusala kamma, we say like this many times because of this, because of the intention to let go, intention to give up the greed to that extent. That's why it is meritorious. But then if people think like at the time of dana, if they are making too many calculations, this much should I give, maybe it will be a loss, I should give less, or then they after giving, oh this will be a waste of money, or whatever it is, all kinds of things people can think in their mind, no? Then this is not the right kind of dana. Already your mind is affected by clinging. So power of your dana will not be strong enough. So that's why Lord Buddha said, when you do dana, before dana, you rejoice. At the time of doing dana, you rejoice. After dana also, you rejoice. Then your dana will be powerful, meritorious, because then you are appreciating yourself for something good that you have done. Appreciating the wholesome qualities. Oh, this is letting go of the greed to this extent, this is good. So when you appreciate the good quality, whether done by you or done by other, means you are having samadhi, right view. That's why it is meritorious. But if you say, so and so gave dana, waste of money, I will never give. You are neither giving, you have stinginess, and you are not even appreciating somebody else's dana. So which means your mind is unwholesome. So chaga, the sixth wealth. And then last one, seventh wealth. Panya, wisdom, discernment. Discernment, wisdom, but wisdom with a special aspect. Understanding the arising and passing away of the phenomena. Understanding the anicca, dukkha and anatta. When you understand the arising and passing away of phenomena, bodily, mental, then automatically you develop, this is anicca, this is changing. And if it is changing, it will be unsatisfactory. And if it is changing and unsatisfactory, then this is not me or myself. It's just one phenomena. Like the body, like the mind, like the all conditioned things in this universe. So wisdom, especially wisdom with regard to the true nature of all phenomena, all conditioned phenomena, body, mind, everything. So this is the seventh wealth. Saddha, Sila, Hiri, Ottappa, Bahussuta, Chaga, Anya. Why did Lord Buddha call them wealth? Because when you develop these things, little by little, when you develop these things, then what happens? When you develop faith in the triple gem, when you develop moral life, when you develop moral shame, moral fear, and when you develop the learning of Dhamma, learning, remembering, practicing of Dhamma, when you develop the generosity and broadness in your mind, when you develop the wisdom, then you are clearing your path to Nibbana. Then you are reducing your suffering every day, little by little. You are walking towards freedom from suffering. Simple. You are walking towards Nibbana, walking towards liberation. Nibbana is the highest wealth. Because other wealth that you gain, other things that you gain can use for some time, even merits, for example. You do a lot of meritorious things. They are good, but then they will support you some lives, many lives sometimes. Sometimes some merits are so powerful that they will support you up to Nibbana. But still, when you are born in the samsara, like our Bodhisattva, in life after life, he gave dana. So much dana, unimaginably. Or some of the chief disciples, great disciples also. They also have given dana, a lot of dana. They also have practiced sila. But then, when you are in the samsara, birth and aging and sickness and death, still it will be there. Even with merit, devas also have lot of merit. They are born in divine plane. But still they are subject to sickness and aging at some point of time, and sickness and death and rebirth. They are not free from it. Or human beings much more, other beings also. So, ultimately if you have to see the samsara, when you are wandering here, you will, even if you have good, for example, even if you are having lot of wealth or lot of name and fame, but eventually slowly aging will come, sickness will come, death also will come. You cannot enjoy it forever. And when you see, when you feel like, for example, 50, 60 years somebody enjoyed wealth and name and fame, and suddenly when they fall sick after 60 years or 65 or 70 years, then they are very disturbed. Because the mind doesn't want to acknowledge the changing nature. Oh, now I can't do this, now I can't go there, I can't go here, people are not coming to me. Then they have suffering. So this is the nature of samsara. Never perfect, we must understand. So these treasures, when Lord Buddha said treasures, means they will be useful hereafter, but they will be useful to take you to Nibbana. This is the real treasure. That's why they are called the highest. Arya Dhana, noble wealth, wealth of the noble ones. These, last there's a Gatha says, these monks are the 7 treasures. The treasure of Shraddha, treasure of Sila, virtue, the treasure of conscious, the treasure of moral shame and moral fear, Hiri and Ottappa, the treasure of learning of Dhamma, treasure of generosity, and the treasure of wisdom as the 7th. Whoever, man or woman, has these treasures is said not to be poor, has not lived in vain. Whoever has these things, their life, they are not poor people. Their life is useful, their life is worthy. So, all these treasures should be cultivated by the wise, remembering the Buddha's instruction. So he says, wise people, remembering the words of the Buddha, will cultivate these things. So last also he says, people with wisdom only will cultivate. If people have no wisdom, they will say, no, what is this? I will not do. So to follow the words of the Buddha, also you have to have some wisdom. If somebody is fully unwise, they will not follow. Even if somebody else tells them, this is good for you, follow this, follow that, they will not follow. Because their mind is fully engrossed by ignorance. So follow This is the path of wisdom. But to start with, you also need a little bit of wisdom. Acknowledging what is good, what is right, what is proper, and then, of course, you have to build upon this. You have to keep doing. But the thing is, you should also acknowledge, yes, this is good. That is Sammaditthi, right view. That's why in the one sutta, Lord Buddha says, eightfold path, 8 factors. No, he says Sammaditthi comes first. It is not 100% Sammaditthi, but then little bit of Sammaditthi is needed to start. So Sammaditthi comes first, right view comes first. If right view, only people will do. If no right view, zero right view, they will not do. Simple. So may you remember these 7 types of wealth, and may you develop these 7 types of wealth. This noble wealth, not just wealth, noble wealth, Arya Dhana. So may you develop these things, and may you be able to cultivate it up to Nibbana. This we conclude. Sukhino bhavantu. Sadhu sadhu.